Angel Reese, and I've argued this before, but I'm re-arguing it because I feel like we just saw another example this weekend of Angel Reese is a laughing stock, and she didn't have to be a laughing stock. She's chosen a fight with Caitlin Clark and Indiana Fever fans, and now she's become, I'm talking about NBA Centel. And I don't know if we got time to call up the tweet from NBA Centel. I should have asked for this, but this morning, but NBA Centel cracking jokes on Angel Reese. They cracked one this weekend about a homeless shelter returned all of her shoes and jerseys. And it's just like, she's become a meme. And yes, she's wealthy. Yes, she's making seven figures because she's become this infamous person. But her lack of skill on the basketball court, she had 4 points in a game against the Indiana Fever. They got beat by 30 by the Indiana Fever. Caitlin Clark didn't even play. That Chicago Sky team is a hot mess. She is going to remain a laughing stock and a joke. Is it? And she doesn't have to be. I would raise the white flag as it relates to Caitlin Clark. I would try to become her BFF or friendly rival and show some respect and affinity towards Caitlin Clark. As long as she goes down this path and people are comparing her to Caitlin Clark, they're going to laugh at her comical basketball skills. Angel Reese has made a horrendous mistake as it relates to her reputation.
At this point, anyone that actually says that there's a Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese rivalry based on basketball ability or skill is being dishonest. There's no way you can look, whether you watch the WNBA or not. I think you probably watch more than most people in America. You just look at the numbers and just look at some of the clips. She's much better on the runway, leading into the locker room than she is on the court. All right, and then her video was sexy red.
Let's play that clip. Let's play. This is her walking in before this, and again, she's drawing attention to herself. This is a mistake. I know it looks good. It feels good for her as a 6'3" woman to be some sort of sex symbol. But when you're a basketball player and the best thing you do is rebound your own missed shots and walk into the arena, it's going to be a problem.
Yeah, that term "me-bounds" is maybe the funniest thing. That'll actually be in the basketball lexicon moving forward. But this is the thing that's really interesting about her is the lack of self-awareness. She said herself, sobbing, "I have been sexualized." And meanwhile, she's shaking her backside and her tail feather with a sexy red. And it just keeps playing. She gives more ammunition than is needed. Her game is her game, Jason. I'll say this. She's one of those players that she is effective at a certain role. But a team that has her as one of the 2 or 3 best players will never win big at that level. She is a specific type of role player that needs to be in support of other people with much more skill. What she does looks good cosmetically on the box score. You actually look at some of the games, and we talked about the body language. I think the teammates are just like, good grief. When are we ever going to get the ball back as she keeps missing 5 of her own putbacks? So that's going to be something really interesting to see as a team chemistry in Chicago.
There was video this weekend of her in practice just working on layups and contested layups. And they weren't contesting them nearly hard enough. But I sit here and say, does anyone care about Angel Reese beyond the instant gratification of the money she's getting right now, as opposed to someone saying, hey, baby girl, this money is great, but if you're a laughing stock, and these young people, they live on social media. I couldn't imagine being Angel Reese and everybody's cracking jokes on you about your basketball skills, and it's ginned up an animosity towards her. And again, she's insinuated Caitlin Clark fans are racist, so she's brought it on herself. But I'm telling you, Steve, if she were to backtrack and say, hey, look, I made a mistake trying to be some sort of super duper rival of Caitlin Clark. I appreciate what Caitlin Clark has brought to the WNBA. I think it would land well, and I think people would move. You don't?
No, she doesn't have the self-awareness, and her fan base would then rebel against her because that would be looked upon as capitulation, whether it be justified or not. I don't think she has the wherewithal to do that. And her own ego, she might actually really think she's female Karl Malone. Honestly, she might actually think, I guess the term is, that she is she. Honestly, I don't think she has the overall intelligence to say, you know what, I need to pull back here. I'm a role player. Her ego will not allow that.
Well, this is the problem or the benefit of watching too much WNBA. I think she's been humble. When you watch her play, she's hesitant now. She gets that basketball out of her hands as quick as she can, and she's turning down shots. And the announcers are even crediting her. Hey, that's great. You know, normally in the past, she would try to put that up. Instead, she's kicking it out. I think the self-awareness is getting beaten into her. There's at such a point, it reaches a point where you're such a laughingstock, and there's so many memes in there. Put the NBA Centel tweet up that I referenced earlier. Put that up. I just, when NBA Centel is going after you the way that they are, I just don't think you can avoid that. And so, here, homeless shelter in Chicago has returned multiple bags of Angel Reese jerseys and shoes after receiving the donation. Can you really be that stubborn? I mean, it would be like me saying, yeah, I really don't have a weight problem. Come on, at some point, you gotta, it would be like you saying you don't have gray hair. At some point, you raise the white flag and just let your hair go all the way gray. Don't miss a second of Fearless. Hit that like button and subscribe to keep up with our latest content.